Install the signal unit with spacer. Tighten the back plate. Tighten the signal unit and rotor with a 20 Newton-meter torque. Use the assembly tool to install a new oil seal with its sealing lip facing out. And secure. Mount the gear shift retaining lever. Insert the spring. Push on the helical gear. Block the helical gear by means of the assembly bridge and tighten with a 60 Newton-meter torque. Secure the fastening nut. Insert the spacer with its recess facing down. The needle bearing and primary transmission pinion with clutch center. The required pinion actual free play is 0.05 to 0.1 millimeter. Determine the correct actual free play of the pinion by lifting up the pinion and a measuring device. Use spacers of different thickness to achieve the required free play. Mount the thrust washer with the recess facing down and fit the spring lock washer. Slide the clutch on the absolutely grease-free crankshaft pin. Use a spacer to tighten the clutch assembly with a 90 Newton-meter torque. Fit the gasket. Observe the correct position of the cam plate. prior to mounting the pre-assembled clutch cover to the crankcase. Tighten the tachometer drive worm. Insert the clutch adjusting plate and the rubber O-ring. Observe the required 11 mm distance between connection spindle bore and the clutch cover. The clutch course adjustment is made by means of the adjusting plate. Install the tachometer drive housing. Put the sealing compound applied oil pump gasket into place. Make sure that the oil pump dog and main shaft slot mate properly. Install the gear shift lever. Fit the oil pump connection hose to the non-return valve and secure. Prior to mounting the piston cylinder assembly, both parts have to be examined to make sure of the correct standard 0.05 mm clearance. The arrow on the piston crown faces to the outlet port, and the punched figures indicate the piston diameter in millimeters. In the demonstrated case, a cylinder of the +1 tolerance group has to be mounted. The marking +1 corresponds with a liner diameter of 69.01 mm. Tolerance group marking is indicated by punched figures on the cylinder top. Whenever new parts are installed, make sure all components such as piston, gudgeon pin, connecting rod and small end bearing correspond with the color code shown in our mating table. Heat up the piston to approximately 50 degrees centigrade. Guide the cold gudgeon pin by means of the guiding pin into the piston and connecting rod with fitted needle bearing. Install both circlips into the piston grooves and check for correct fitting.